another edition of Private Stock. Really glad you tuned in, and I don't know about you, but I'm really in a super mellow mood after the Janice Ian wiped me out. Most of what I'm going to play on Stock tonight is things that people have submitted on their own, different requests for different material. I'll be playing some Uriah Heep. I have some Rascals to play, try and work in some Jim Pepper, and I promised someone that I would play some Al Stewart, and another person that I would play Daryl Hall and John Oates. So we're going to begin the program with Al Stewart and segue into a selection off War Babies by Daryl Hall and John Oates. This first selection, written by Stewart, is titled Roads to Moscow, and it comes from the album Past, Present, and Future. What it is the story of a Russian soldier who fought against the Nazi panzer divisions. He just about gave up his life to do that, and ended up dying in one of Stalin's death camps for traitors, simply because of a strange quirk of events. Stewart read over 50 books to try and chronicle this song, including a whole volume on a general named Guerdian. Who is General Guerdian? I've never heard of him. Stewart just really took a lot of time, and it shows in the result of this song. This is Al Stewart, Roads to Moscow.
Crossed over the border the hour before dawn, moving in lines through the day. Most of our planes were destroyed on the ground where they lay. Waiting for orders we held in the wood. Word from the front never came. By evening the sound of the gunfire was miles away. Softly we moved through the shadows, slip away through the trees, crossing their lines in the mist and the fields, on our hands and our knees. I know that I ever was able to see glowing red, silhouetting the smoke on the breeze. All summer they drove us back through the Ukraine. Smolensk and Vyazma soon fell. By autumn we stood with our backs to the town of Orel. Closer and closer to Moscow they come, riding the wind like a bell. General Guderian stands at the crest of the hill. Winter brought with the rains, oceans of mud filled the roads, gluing the tracks of their tanks to the ground, while the sky filled with snow. I know that I ever was able to see the fire in the air, glowing red, silhouetting the snow on the breeze. In the footsteps of Napoleon, the shadow figures stagger through the winter, falling back before the gates of Moscow, standing in the wings like an avenger. And far away behind their lines, the partisans are stirring in the forest, coming unexpectedly upon their outposts, growing like a promise. You'll never know which way to turn, which way to look, you'll never see us. As we're stealing through the blackness of the night, you'll never hear us. And the evening sings in a voice of amber, the dawn is surely coming. The morning road leads to Stalingrad, and the sky is softly humming. Two broken tigers on fire in the night flicker their souls to the wind. We're waiting the lines for the final approach to begin. It's been almost 4 years that I've carried a gun. At home it'll almost be spring. The flames of the tigers are lighting the road to Berlin. Quickly we move through the ruins that bow to the ground. The old men and children they send out to face us, they can't slow us down. And now that I ever was able to see, the eyes of the city are opening now. It's the end of the dream. I'm coming home, now you can taste it in the wind, the war is over. And I listen to the clicking of the train wheels as we roll across the border. And now they ask me at the time that I was caught behind their lines and taken prisoner. They only held me for a day, a lucky break I face, they turn and listen closer. I'll never know why I was taken from the line and all the others, to board a special train and journey deep into the heart of Holy Russia. And it's cold and damp in the transit camp, and the air is still and sullen, and the pale sun of October whispers the snow will soon be coming. And I wonder when I'll be home again, and the morning answers never, and the evening sighs and the steely Russian skies go on forever.
name of the song is War Babies, Son of Zorro, from the album War Babies by Daryl Hall and John Oates. Todd Rundgren on lead guitar throughout the record. Right before that, Al Stewart on KGB FM from his LP Past, Present, and Future. That's the one that has Nostradamus on it. And the name of the song we listened to, Roads to Moscow. I received a couple of phone calls. General Guardian was a Nazi general who appeared on the Russian front, and he was part of the 6th Army. I have to admit that when it comes to infinite details concerning history, I guess I'm a little lacking in that. I got the basics down, but thanks for the response. I appreciate it. I always appreciate the feedback and everything. BC with you right now. Normally, with a brand new record, I would wait until listening booth to play it for you. But there's something that's come out in the last week that has really caught my ear. The name of the album is Cunning Stunts, and the band is Caravan. Now, the copy they sent me is a little scratchy to begin with, and the other thing is they put the labels on backwards. What is side 2 has the side 1 label and vice versa. So after finally figuring that out, I really have to play this for you. I mean, this is incredible. If you can appreciate progressive rock, this may grab you right to begin with, but just take my word that this is the kind of record that once you give it a little attention and begin to understand it, it just gets better and better and better. This is Caravan, Cunning Stunts. Caravan on KGB FM from their latest album. I guess they have probably 6 or 7 records now. Name of this LP is Cunning Stunts. And it's 2 words where you don't want to switch around the first letters of each, otherwise it comes out stunning. I think I'll stop right there. The cover of this album is just too much. Done by Hypnosis, the people in England who've done so many fine covers. Really a photographical gem to grace the outside of this record. Tell you the selections we just listened to. The whole thing is called the Dab Song Concerto. And it's broken up into individual songs. The Mad Dab Song, Ben Carrot Rides Again, Pros and Cons, Rakes and Ladders, and Sneaking Out the Bear Quare. I don't know what most of that means, but anyway, that's the names of the songs, if that matters. They have all kinds of weird credits in this record, like the tape jockey is Martin Has Been. I'm not buying it, guys. What a record. Just what a record. Comes off as being very intense the first time you hear it, and then if you're really into the music, you begin to understand what they're doing after a while, and you begin to hear more and more. Absolutely incredible. What I'm going to play next for us on Private Stock on KGB FM, something by Larry Coryell from his album The Real Great Escape. I'll be playing the title cut. That'll be the second song in this next set. The first one is by a band called Nucleus, which is led by Ian Carr. They have numerous import albums, which they've done over the years. This is, to my knowledge, their first American release. The name of the LP is Snake Hips, etc. Snake Hips, etc. Here's the title track. This is Nucleus on KGB FM.